Viertelfinale Nummer 3. Ein Mann aus der Darts-Hochburg Stoke-on-Trent. Von der Weltranglistenposition her mit der niedrigsten hier im Viertelfinale. Und trotzdem aufgepasst, der Kerl ist gefährlich. Der hat schon auf dem Weg hierhin 2 BDO-Weltmeister aus dem Turnier geworfen mit Steve Boulton und Jelle Klaassen. Er will noch eins drauflegen. Herzlich willkommen, Andy Boulton, der X-Factor. Andy Boulton muss ran gegen die Nummer 12 der Welt. Der UK Open Finalist aus dem vergangenen Jahr hat in diesem Jahr seine erste Premier League Saison gespielt. Aus Wales, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price. Und Caller des dritten Viertelfinals ist Paul Hinks. Herzlich willkommen.
Paul Hinks back on stage to ref the next 2 quarter-finals. We've already seen wins for Michael van Gerwen and Stephen Bunting, both champions of the world. Right now, we've got a seeded player versus an unseeded player. It's the same in the last remaining quarter-final. The Danish Darts Open champion from last time out on the European Tour, Mensur Suljovic, will look to compete, or continue rather, his unbeaten run in Euro Tour darts as he takes on Willie O'Connor. And Andy Boulton will look to make the semi-finals of a European Tour event for the first time in his career. In 2017 he made a quarter-final. In 2016 he made a quarter-final. He has matched that in 2018. Can he go a step further against the Welsh #1, a former major finalist, a man who made his Premier League debut this year? But even though he didn't show what he's capable of in his first Premier League season, Gerwyn Price has been throwing some pretty decent stuff all around those Thursday night appearances. Because he's in the top 16 in the averages from the Players' Championship series of events. He is a 2-time PDC title winner, although it's been a little while since he picked up those titles. And he has been very impressive once already today against Jason Lowe with an average of 99. Mervyn King joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for X Factor and the Iceman in the quarterfinals.
How you doing? How you doing?
100.
Now then, Merv. Gerwyn Price. He's not been around that long in the PDC, but they don't give away titles, do they? Anybody who can go on and win 2 back-to-back, which is what he did, that deserves respect.
Oh, definitely, definitely. They're getting harder and harder to achieve nowadays. I mean, the youngsters coming through, and us old boys are having to up our game just to stay with them.
Well, Gerwyn Price, it is literally a few years, 6-7 years, that he actually started playing the game. He hadn't picked up a set of darts prior to that. Now, that's alien to you, Merv, because you were playing as an infant, pretty much. I mean, your first 9 darts at 12 years old, didn't you?
No, I started playing at 12. I hit my first 9 at 14.
14, 2-year wait, there we go.
Not a bad memory, though.
Well, that's it. Mervyn King had to wait less than half of the time to hit a 9-darter from when he first picked up a dart, but we had to wait for a 9-darter on the European Tour.
100. Gerwyn McCall, 139.
Not what he was after.
No, they've got funnier ways of going than I used, but that's funny to me, not obviously to themselves.
58.
I've seen some variations of some shots out, and they confuse me somewhat. I'm more of the old traditionalist.
Well, Gowan Price.
79. And the recall 155.
Will come back looking at the double 7.
And he had a look at the 155. He's found the 60 with his second dart. Leaves 75.
97.
Wanted 51 to leave 24.
14.
He's let Gerwin in here to have a shot at double 7. Went straight at it, just inside. This is a 3 for double 2.
10 score. And he requires 58.
These are problems of his own making here, Gowan Price.
2 darts at tops. That's a great guide. Used it to perfection. Slid the third dart straight down the barrel to take the first leg with a hold of throw.
When you do, when you're leading, have a commanding lead in a leg, and then you start missing big numbers and making a mess of things, and that's basically what's happened to Gowan Price there. How hard is it to keep you cool?
Sometimes not very. Until you hit that first double, it sort of plays on your mind a little bit, and the more you miss, the harder it becomes to hit it. If you worry about it, sometimes you put it out of your mind and just carry on and hit it next leg. Other times, it grates.
I mean, you've been playing this game for decades. I mean, have you ever actively tried to teach yourself to deal with that aspect of it, the mental aspect of the game, better? I mean, Darren Webster and Steve West, I mean, you're good mates with Steve.
Yeah.
Steve has said he's tried to do loads of work to improve the mental side of his game. He always felt that that's where he was lacking, and he's trying to do stuff to change that. It can't be easy to do that. Sometimes it's got to be easier to do a technical change, doesn't it, in how you throw?
Do you know what? I wouldn't even know where to start to try and change something mentally. It's whatever he's doing. If it's working, I think he needs to let me know.
Well, I think it probably is working for Steve West, because the last 2 years have probably been the best darts of his life, I would think. But Gowan Price, double top. It is the double he will leave at every available opportunity. And he is in danger here, Gerwin, of letting Andy Boulton get away from him.
And he looks at 122 on the 18, so there's a treble. That's the single that leaves the bullseye. 1 dart in his hand.
97.
Just away from the bullseye. Leaves 25 on his return if he gets back.
Well, no great roar from Gowan Price on this occasion. I think it was more of a sheepish return to the board to get his darts. But if he does get going in this, expect it to get pretty lively.
58.
I think he was just pleased and relieved to see that first double go in, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, particularly after what had happened before. And has it settled him down? Gowan is hobbling around on there with a busted Achilles from playing football a few weeks ago. He says that it isn't causing him pain, but it obviously is affecting him.
97.
How does, I mean, you've played through physical injuries in the past. You still do on occasion with your back problems, Merv. How hard is it to try and focus? Sometimes, Steve West, for example, he said, I've played with pain for 20, 30 years, and it actually, sometimes it can help, because you're not thinking about the pressure situation you're in. You're too busy thinking about, oh, my hip.
Well, when I was in excruciating pain with my back, I felt that I played some great darts because I wasn't moving when I was throwing the dart. I was basically standing perfectly still, or as still as I could.
98.
And just the arm was moving.
Probably prefer to play without excruciating pain in your back, though, yeah?
If possible, yes.
Okay.
It's not something I'd call on to happen to make me play better. I'm sure there are other ways to play better.
60.
Well, the first 3 legs of this game have been characterised by Gerwyn Price outscoring Andy Boulton.
100.
We will see if he can take his chances. Some kind of insect. There were plenty of them in Denmark last week. And it's back.
Great last start.
Under the clock, 87.
Andy steps up, wanting 87 to go into a 2-1 lead. That's the first part of the combination, leaves double 18. Another great guide. This time doesn't manage it.
40.
2 darts missed for Andy Boulton. We could see the first break of throw here. It's that double 10 again. And there was a bit more oomph in that celebration from Gerwyn Price. Merv, what's your tactic? We've just seen there 2 guys who've had a go at a double, they've missed just outside, and it looks really inviting for them. When you're then throwing the next dart, are you trying to just throw the same in that it will collide into? Are you throwing at the previous dart? Rod Harrington always used to say that you throw at the flights of it. What are you actually doing? What are you thinking about when you're aiming with that second dart to use the marker?
I tend to go for the open bed, known as the air shot.
Just get rid of it. Don't even try and...
As far as I'm concerned, the dart isn't there. It's a guide from your last throw where you try and adjust just that little fraction, but still go for the open bed.
So all you're using it as a marker for is how you threw it. You're not using it as a little tungsten wall to rebound off or anything.
Not personally, no. I mean, there are other players that do that, especially if you put 2 guides up there, it becomes bigger, it's easier to go off, but not me, not personally. That's not something I do.
Even when you're looking to fill it up in the treble 20 bed, such as this situation with Gerwyn Price here.
121.
I mean, that went beside it. It didn't deflect off the barrel under it. That's a bit quicker from Andy.
Yeah, he is a guy who can play at various speeds, Andy Boulton. Oh, look at this. Well, thought that he might have snuck it in between. He did, but it went in between and just above the treble 20 bed. But once again, Gerwyn Price is outscoring Andy Boulton. It's giving him opportunities.
He's found the treble, leaves 38. He split it. Well, that's certainly a different way of going. All effective, though.
Certainly is. And Gerwyn Price, coming into this match, was hitting 48% of his doubles for the tournament. Now, he has obviously missed a whole load in the first couple of legs, which is going to mess his stats up. There you see. Gerwyn Price has only missed 10 darts at double in this match. However, since he started hitting them, he's looked a lot more secure.
95.
And that 104 first 9 average is a world away from what Andy Boulton is throwing.
Definitely gaining in confidence, especially with the after leg celebration. It's getting more, louder. That's a sign of a confident player.
Well, there you see. A ropey first leg where Gerwyn Price missed a few darts at double. But then 2 6-visit legs and then a 5-visit leg. Admittedly, I don't think he's going to match it in this one. But Gerwyn Price, who started this game as the favourite, has only confirmed that status thus far.
100.
Andy Boulton has had a couple of battles already this weekend. 6-4 wins against Christo Reyes and Steve Beaton. In both cases, his opponent missed a lot of doubles. Now Clarkson was dispatched 6-1 this afternoon. Very impressive win. He's beaten 2 former Lakeside champions and a national #1 in Cristo Reyes of Spain.
You don't do that by luck.
He's a gritty competitor, but that is a magnificent setup shot from Gerwyn Price. 40 left after 5 visits. Double 8 required for Andy Boulton. Oh, not out again, Andy. Not again. Not again. This for a double break. The task is getting harder and harder for Andy Boulton.
Just under with the first one, and there's that double 10 again. He's starting to own that double 10.
Well, it's a good job because double top is his go-to double. Leaves it more than any other player in the upper echelons of world darts. He will do everything he can, sometimes going very strange routes to leave the double top, but he's not hit it yet.
Hasn't seemed to have found the range on that double top, I must admit.
Yeah, he was hitting it very well against Jason Lowe earlier on, 50% on his doubles and an average of almost 99. He saw off Mike Langendorf in his second round game yesterday. It wasn't a particularly impressive performance, but I mean, Merv, you've been up on that stage. We talked about it in comms this weekend. These are tough conditions to play in, aren't they? I mean, we're hot just sitting here.
Yeah, it's very, very warm on stage. You've got all the lights for the TV, and it just makes it so much hotter. I mean, that's got to be well over 100 degrees.
Yeah, it feels it. It certainly feels it in here, let alone up on the stage under the lights. I mean, you've played all over the world, but this feels pretty much as warm as it gets in a darts venue.
This has that match play feel to it at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool when I think they recorded 120 degrees.
It was, I mean, it was high. It was hot. It was very, very hot. And there's some pretty hot darts from Gerwyn Price here. Too hot to handle for Andy Boulton right now.
You make a song about it, don't you? Too hot to handle.
Right, Andy Boulton might sing it. He does like a bit of karaoke. He's often duetted with A.D. Lewis.
Is that reggae?
May have done so.
He could have left that a little bit better. And he looking at 88. He's gone for the 60, hit a 20. Oh, double 7. Yet again fails to pin the double. He's had his chances thus far in this match.
18s and bull. Oh, do not miss the big number, as a great man once told me. Oh, well, he's tried to hit the 9s there. He's hit treble 14. Again, it's all got a bit scrappy at the end of a leg. But Andy Boulton does break the Price throw for the first time in this match. Has he got a way back into this one, X Factor?
Could this be a turning point, do you think?
Well, it could. It could. We know that Andy Boulton is always up for a battle. He's got an enormous amount of experience. I know he doesn't have his tour card at the minute, but he held it for 3 years, 2015, 16 and 17, as I say. He's made quarterfinals on the Euro Tour, 3 years running now. He's playing on the Challenge Tour. He's a guy who's played a lot of BDO stuff before he made the switch over. He knows his way around a dartboard, does Andy Boulton. That's basically what I'm saying. You can't discount anybody in this
He's got a big heart when it comes to the game of darts. A lot of fight there. He's not going to roll over. I feel if he gets a chance, he's going to take it.
Well, he may do. It's what he's been doing all weekend. But he has had a little bit of luck. Nobody's had match darts against him, but they have missed a lot of darts at doubles that have allowed him into legs where he looked dead and buried. And
it's that word luck again. You have to have some.
Yeah, you do. You do. Look, Mensur Suljovic survived a match dart in the semi-finals last time out, but it does not say that in the rule book, does it? In the history book, it says Mensur Suljovic, Danish Darts Open champion.
Exactly. great darts from Gerwin.
140.
Just over the top. He could have done with that third one, really. 101 for Andy.
It can still be done, but no longer. And Gerwin Price, you know he's getting into a match when he starts celebrating the 140s, which is what happened in that previous visit. Because it gives him a 2-dart checkout. And he can do it in 2 darts.
60. And you require 32.
Went further away. Wrong side of the barrel. That can happen if you try and go off the barrel. That's why I tend to go for the
fresh air
shot. Yep.
Well, the gap is cut to 1, and it did not look like this was going to happen earlier on in the game. But once again, Andy Boulton showing that grit and determination that has served him so well.
There's that chance.
He still needs to find a break of throw.
59.
Are you a believer in momentum, Merv? Do you believe that if you've won 3-4 legs on the spin, the confidence that it imbues you with, and perhaps the confidence seeping out of your opponents, can make it more likely that you go on to win the next leg and the next?
Very much so. I mean, the prime example of that is the main man, Van Gerwen. He feeds off things like that. He takes that to the next level. When he starts getting confident in the game, you can see it, and he just raises the bar.
Yes, and I'm not sure there are many players in PDC darts right now that have not felt the full force of the confidence vampire that is Michael van Gerwen, because he just feasts on yours to build his own up, and yours just drains away until you're an empty husk who's just gone out in round 3 or wherever you've faced him.
58.
Not every time. Maybe Stephen Bunting's going to drive a stake through his heart in the semi-finals tonight.
An empty husk.
96.
That's not enough to leave a finish.
No. But again, he misses the 18s. He seems to be dropping low on those.
And he's been dropping low a lot on the double top as well. You do wonder, I know that his injury may be stopping him from moving, but you wonder whether it is having some sort of knock-on effect somewhere, and it can happen like that, can't it?
It certainly can. He's got to compensate for that somewhere, even if it's the other leg. So he might be standing slightly different.
And he's pulled it low again, and you can see the frustration, and this is a chance. Is it the chance that Andy Boulton needs? Because if he breaks throw here, we've got a level game, and Andy Boulton only needs to hold a couple of times, and he is in. Bullseye for Boulton.
81. Going require 20.
Yes, it was away, Andy.
It's that double 10 again. Can he find it? He can. He definitely owns that double 10.
Now take something to through first. Come on.
Well, double top is so often the double that saves Gerwin Price, and he has missed it every single time that he's had a pop at it in this game. But double 10 keeps on rescuing him.
I have a feeling, just the way they're going in, that he's standing a bit taller. He can't seem to lean forward as much. And if he's doing that, that's what's making the dart drop.
47.
He's having to throw it a lot harder.
85.
Well, throwing a dart hard, you would not assume to be a problem for Gerwin Price. He's a walking cube of muscle.
But throwing a dart harder than your normal throw is something that you don't do naturally. And to repeat that is harder than what your natural throw is.
130.
Back in this leg and back piling the pressure on Andy Boulton.
Great response.
125.
Bit disgusted with that last dart. But to be fair, there wasn't a great deal of the bed to aim at there.
60.
He does get 2 visits from 134 though.
Great start.
Oh, wow. Looking at the treble 14, dragged it into the treble 11, but no damage done because he will get 3 darts for the leg. This has been a game with lots of missed darts at double though. There is no guarantee this goes for Andy Boulton. It may have to go to stay alive.
Finds its second dart. Manages to hold his throw, still needs a break. There's that celebration on the 140 again.
Well, he knows this is the vital leg, isn't it? He does not want to have to break throw. He has led ever since he levelled at 1 apiece, Gerwyn Price. He has then gone on to build up a lead and continue to keep his nose in front of Andy Boulton, always maintaining a break of throw. Now, if he were to be broken here and pushed to a last leg decider where he'd have to break, then, I mean, maybe he'd just be a beaten man by that point.
Well, I think he sort of got the best out of that throw with the last dart. He keeps covering his bed. I mean, the treble 20, the treble 19. But he's still a way ahead here.
And there you see, not much in the averages overall, but that first 9 average has steadfastly been almost 20 points higher than Andy Boulton right the way through this game, even though Gerwyn Price has had a few visits like that, some really bad ones where he's missed 2 big segments.
He's taken full advantage of this, is Andy.
100.
Look, an 80 first 9 average is not going to scare anybody. It is that has allowed Boulton in.
57.
This is there if somebody can just step up and put in 2 magnificent visits back to back.
Needs another one.
Oh.
100.
Well thrown dart, just slightly above the treble.
$99.
It surprises me him going down there. I thought he might have switched to the 18s with the last one.
Oh, this is a beaut.
Treble 19.
139.
Wow.
Gerwyn, you're about 87.
Gerwyn Price. He's only going to get 1 dart for the match at the bull.
62. And you require 62.
Andy Boulton has dug in and grafted.
I feel this has to go.
He's fought for this chance.
And pins it. Took the chance again. Another game got all the way.
Wow. At 4-1 down, we knew that he wouldn't give up, Andy Boulton, but I'm not sure we thought he'd get enough chances to take us to this point, because he's just become favourite for this match.
I don't think Andy thought he was going to get the chances. With the body language, the first 6 darts of the previous leg, he thought it had gone.
Well, is Gerwyn Price a beaten man? Because he had this game. This was his. And for the very first time in this game, probably for the very first time ever since this tie was set up, Gerwyn Price is now second favourite. 16 darter, 16 darter, 17 darter and 18 darter, all of them 6 visits to the board. Gerwyn Price knows that at any point he could have chucked in a 15 darter and won any of those legs.
100.
He's trying too hard now, I think. He's only 1 dart behind, but it's the break of throw.
Gerwyn Price needs an enormous visit, and he needs it right now, and because he knows he needs it, it becomes very hard.
55. And you require 100.
And look at the reaction. He thinks this is gone.
Well, he's got 6 at it. He might only need the 3.
Oh, Andy Boulton, come on. Come on, there's 2,500 people here. Entertain them, man. It's down to Gerwyn Price, and could Gerwyn Price turn the tables on Andy Boulton? Boulton has been sticking in all game. And he does not allow Gerwyn Price back to the board. Andy Boulton, for the first time in his career, in a Euro Tour semi-final. It did not look likely for the vast majority of that match. But Gerwyn Price limps out of the European darts match play in more ways than one. We have 3 of our semi-finalists. There is only 1 spot in the semis left, and it goes to either Mensur Suljovic or the unseeded Willie O'Connor. But one unseeded player is there already. It's Andy Boulton. We'll grab a few words with him. And then it is the Gentle and the Magpie for the right to face him.
Gegner wird dann im nächsten Match ermittelt zwischen Willie O'Connor und Mensur Suljovic. Andy, what a comeback. Congratulations.
Yeah, that doesn't feel very good, to be fair. It's like, it's my first Euro semi-final, over the moon with, but I can't get used to this playing in the day and then coming back at night, and like feel a bit sluggish, a bit lethargic, a bit slow. I don't know what it is,
but you're not the only one who's saying that. That's difficult to play in the afternoon, have this long break, and play in the evening again.
Yeah, a lot of respect to like the Michaels and the whoever, everybody else. They do it all the time, but like for me, that's my 4th time, I think, or something. But yeah, it's so warm, and I need to lose some weight, I think. Yeah, we'll be all right.
No, enjoy it. Welcome to the semi-final. Andy Boulton sagt, freut sich natürlich zum einen, dass er sein erstes Halbfinale